Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and boy, it is a Bitcoin maxi freakout party out there. I've been in this since 2013, I've never seen it anywhere close to this. They've found out that XRP is being talked about being in the U.S. Strategic National Reserve, and they're going nuts. We're going to show you all that and show you what's important and show you what are lies. The market is relatively flat considering the best news in the history of crypto coming out of yesterday. So don't be surprised if this weekend this stuff doesn't go crazy, and I mean all of it. I want you to see this. Ray Fuentes had Greg Kidd. Remember, Greg Kidd he's a billionaire, and he was one of the first 10 people at Ripple. Listen to what he says here.
Hats off to Ripple and the XRP crowd. They led the charge in terms of showing that you could fight for the right to have clear rules for the industry, and they're finally getting rewarded for it. It's taken 4 years, but hats off to the Ripple team for what they've done.
Earlier today, the team had the opportunity to interview DAI Brad Kimes. So as you were speaking, I'm imagining that little room that once started in has now evolved into a conference of thousands and thousands of people. So kudos to you, kudos to Brad Kimes and DAI and the likes, the whole team at Ripple. Now, with that being said, and speaking on that wonderful journey that you've been on, Greg, I've got to also say that I've been on a fortunate journey myself, and I've actually had the wonderful opportunity to brush elbows and cross paths with you recently at the Uphold Ripple event around Money 2020, which is the leading fintech conference in Las Vegas. Before that, it was at a Link2 hosted conference in Portugal, where you flew in and discussed all things digital assets, fintech, and all things revolutionary tech. So like you, sir, I've had just a blessed opportunity to be in the room with someone like you. And so I got to ask you, sir, speaking of conferences, are you going to be showing up to Link2's upcoming conference on February 18th at their headquarters?
I'm not sure why I wouldn't. I'm not in charge of my own schedule. So I lost control of my email and my text messaging and scheduling long ago. So I'll go where I'm needed. And
okay.
I just want to remind people just how different it was. I remember when the SEC came after Ripple, and Ripple kind of lost its relationship with the MoneyGram crowd and whatnot, and all the exchanges felt like they couldn't keep trading it. I mean, Uphold continued to keep trading it, but even that was a risk. Man, I really encourage people to remember that in this country, we do forget sometimes you're innocent until proved guilty. I know it hasn't felt like that over the last 4 years, but my gosh, it's just it's good to be in America today.
There you go. And look, Link2 AI Innovation Conference. It's an AI educational conference. The link's in the top of the description for that. You can sign up. They've got a few seats left. I think they're almost out. But also, Ray Fuentes is doing an XRP family meetup the day before, and that link's in the description as well. I'll be at the Link2 AI conference. Let me see who else is going to be there, if there's any new names that I recognize. I was hoping maybe we'd see Greg Kidd on here. Maybe he will come. I actually sent that to the people at Link2. Maybe Greg Kidd will come. And then XRP Las Vegas was mentioned too. And yes, I believe there's going to be thousands there this year. There's discounted tickets on the website, xrplasvegas.com. You can also go down in the description, and there's a link to that. They also have discounted MGM Grand tickets. Let's see if there's any additions on the website that I haven't seen yet. I think there's many that are coming. A lot of big names coming. Okay, the Wolf of Wall Street is really who set off all these Bitcoin maxis going nuts. And he did it when he put out that strong rumor, don't shoot the messengers, but hearing that the reliable channels, the strategic stockpile they are discussing is Bitcoin and XRP. Then he retweets that and he says, I rarely post rumors unless the sources are reliable, and I hear it from multiple places. It will take a long time to see how all this shakes out, but I can assure you that XRP is currently a major part of the conversation. And why wouldn't it be? It will take months to sort out, and a lot can change. Maybe they'll change having Bitcoin in it at all. After all, they don't know who created it. Maybe China created it. This guy, I love. I mean, these guys just say whatever, and they don't care if it's factual. This guy says XRP shills in disbelief that Trump just effectively banned their CBDC shitcoin. Guess you should have just held Bitcoin instead of being totalitarian simps. Well, unfortunately, he must not have read the Wolf of Wall Street's tweet. And like my mother said when I was getting a shot when I was a kid, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you, Walker America. So read it and weep. Somebody asked David Schwartz why the Bitcoin maxis hate XRP so much. He says maybe it's because they think it's an American crypto and they reflexively hate America. That one's going to sting too. Check this out. Paul Graywall, earlier today I showed you where Stuart Alderati was asking David Sachs to drop the case against Ripple. And now Paul Graywall, the CLO of Coinbase, is saying the same thing. Every day these unfounded cases having zero allegations of fraud cost American companies like ours real money and real distraction. President of the United States and his E&O are clear. It's time to hire more American engineers and fewer American lawyers. Respectfully dismiss them all without further delay. There's no reason that they can't dismiss these today. Wouldn't that be something if today was the day? All right, here's what they're talking about with the crypto task force from the executive order.
Hi, Sean and Brad.
Come on.
Great to be here. So it's been a great week for crypto, actually, on the regulatory front. We saw Tuesday, the SEC has created a task force basically to provide guidance to the crypto industry. That release, creating the task force from Commissioner Ueda, was had a very clear stance that the end of the era of regulation by enforcement was clear, and now we're going to see a new era on the SEC. We saw the SEC rescinding the SAB 121 that basically blocked banks from offering crypto services. And yesterday we saw this executive order creating this working group in the executive branch to look at crypto regulation, look at the stockpile. I think people were waiting probably to create that this strategic reserve of Bitcoin will be created from day one. But we know how those things take time, right? We need to look at those policies with care. And now this working group will have 180 days to design policies for the crypto industry. This is huge.
What is the timeline that the crypto industry and investors or some of the largest execs that certainly do have their own larger skin in the game here, what's the timeline that they should be grading the administration on putting forward some of not just the working group elements, but also the conclusions from that working group and actions?
So what this executive order basically defines is that this group will have up to 180 days to propose policies, propose legislations, and propose actions from the executive branch. Some of those actions might be implemented by executive order, so don't need to go through Congress, and that can be a big advancement to the industry. But I think the big ones will depend on congressional approval. So especially giving clarity on stablecoin and stablecoin adoption, this can be huge. So it's important to know that stablecoin has been seeing a major adoption in emerging markets and not much in the US because of the lack of regulatory clarity. And this is
okay. I want to show you. Let's see. That's Kathy Wood. I'm going to skip that one. I wanted to show you this. This is Brian Brooks from back in 2020. This is where we are, folks. This is being pushed out of the way so that this can happen.
But Brian, I wanted to follow up on the point you made in terms of, do you think good things are coming by the end of the Trump term for cryptocurrency? Are you in the camp who believes that more regulation in cryptocurrency will be a good thing overall for the industry?
Yeah, look, I wouldn't say more regulation. This is not like your breakfast cereal box where it talks about weight, not volume. I don't think we need 50 regulations instead of 2. But what we do need is clarity about what's allowed. And so we need some guidance, for example, about whether banks can connect directly to blockchains as payment networks. The answer has to be yes, right? We needed answers about, can banks custody cryptocurrency so that institutions felt comfortable adopting? And you saw what happened when we gave that clarity. So you have clarity across a variety of areas that I think you'll be seeing just in the next 6 to 8 weeks, which will make it easier for crypto investors to know how to invest, to know how institutions can be in this asset class. And those are the things that are driving prices at this point. You know, it may have hit a bubble 2 years ago, but with more clarity, institutions that see this as a real thing are going to adopt at scale, which they've already started to do. So stay tuned.
Former boss at Coinbase's CEO, Brian Armstrong, sent out last week, and he said that the Treasury could be, quote, planning to rush out some new regulation regarding self-hosted crypto wallets before the end of the term. Is that true?
Yeah, look, Melissa, you know, rumors abound in Bitcoin more than almost any other place. What I would tell you is we're very focused on getting this right. We're very focused on not killing this. And it's equally important that we develop the networks behind Bitcoin and other cryptos as it is that we prevent money laundering and terrorism financing. So believe me, there's a balance here and it's going to work for everybody.
So that's neither a yes or no answer to that. Should we be expecting some new regulations by the end of the Trump term?
I think you're going to see a lot of good news for crypto by the end of the Trump term. Some of it's going to have to do with banks connecting to blockchain. Some of it's going to be more clarity around the nature of these assets. So
anyway, you get the point. Now, I'll end with this. Emi Yoshikawa is apparently seeing all the Bitcoin maxis coming after Ripple. Interesting to see Satoshi's comments on Ripple Pay conceptualized by Ryan Fugger, which was later infused into the XRP ledger. This is Satoshi, any of you Bitcoiners watching, this is Satoshi, your God, talking about Ripple. Are you familiar with Ripple? As trust systems go, Ripple is unique in spreading trust around rather than concentrating it. I've been asked at least 4 other times, have you heard of Ripple? Ripple is interesting in that it's the only other system that does something with trust besides concentrate it into a central server, Satoshi, or the 4 Satoshis. Okay, in the group, there's a lot more to cover, and we're going to go through it. This is DAIXRP.com. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Tell your friends and family, away we go.